Hey, have you ever stopped to wonder why you get a day off from school right in the middle of January? It's not just some random break. Nope. It's a day to remember someone who was truly, truly special. And the story behind it? It's pretty incredible. So let's figure this out. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the story behind Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's a story about a great man, a really powerful idea, and the long, tough fight to make sure that idea would never, ever be forgotten. All right, so to get why the holiday is so important, you've got to first understand the man himself. Who was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and what did he do that was so amazing the whole country celebrates him?
Okay, so this is really the most important thing to know about him. Dr. King was a leader during the civil rights movement. He looked around and saw that our country wasn't fair for everybody, especially for Black Americans. But here's the key part. Instead of fighting with fists or with anger, he taught people to use powerful but peaceful actions to demand change.
You know, one of Dr. King's superpowers, really, was his words. He was an unbelievable speaker. But it wasn't some kind of magic. He just made people feel like he was talking right to them, you know? He spent years and years studying and practicing how to use his voice to give people hope and make them feel seen. His words could literally change how people felt in their hearts. And here's what's so inspiring. Dr. King was so determined. He saw unfairness, what we call injustice, all around him. But he didn't just get angry about it. He actually believed deep down that things could get better, and he never, ever gave up on that belief. That hope is a huge reason we still talk about him today. But, you know, Dr. King's life was cut tragically short. And in that incredibly sad moment, a new promise was born. It was a promise to always remember him and the work he started. So, back in 1968, something terrible happened. Dr. King was killed. The whole country was just shocked and heartbroken. But almost right away, the people he had inspired knew they couldn't let his dream just fade away. They decided the best way to honor him was to create a national holiday.
And they acted fast. I mean, think about that. Just 4 days, that's it. 4 days after Dr. King was gone, a lawmaker named John Conyers was already in Congress proposing a bill to create a holiday in his name. That just shows you how huge his impact was. People knew immediately that his work had to live on.
But here's the thing. Having a great idea is one thing, but making it a law for the entire country, that's a whole other story. The journey to create Martin Luther King Jr. Day wasn't easy at all. It was a long, hard fight. This timeline really paints a picture, doesn't it? The idea pops up in 1968, right after he passed away. But then, look, it took all the way until 1979 to even get a big vote on it, and that vote failed. It wasn't until 1983 that the bill finally passed, and we didn't even celebrate the first official holiday until 1986. Wow, that is a long time to wait. 15 years. Let that sink in for a second. From the first idea in 1968 to the bill finally being signed into law in 1983, for many of you, that's longer than you've been alive. It took 15 years of nonstop work to make this happen.
And you know, this whole struggle is the perfect example of what Dr. King himself always taught. Real change takes time, and you can't give up. It took so many people working together, lawmakers, famous singers like Stevie Wonder who wrote a song about it, and just thousands of everyday people. They all marched and wrote letters and just refused to quit, exactly like Dr. King would have.
And then, finally, all of that hard work, all of that waiting, it all paid off. After 15 long years, there was a huge victory, not just for the people who fought for it, but for Dr. King's dream itself. Whoa! Okay, look at this chart. This tells you everything you need to know about that final vote. Look at the difference between the yes bar and the no bar. It wasn't even close. 338 people said yes. It was a landslide. It showed that after all those years, the country was finally ready to give this hero the honor he deserved.
And this was the final moment. The big one. President Ronald Reagan signed the paper that made it official. From that day forward, the third Monday of every January would officially be a federal holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Okay, so we've got the history down, but what does all of that mean for us, right here, right now? Because honestly, this is the most important part of the whole story, keeping that dream alive today. See, Dr. King's dream isn't just something stuck in a history book. It's alive. It lives on in our country's laws that are supposed to protect everyone. It lives on in his powerful speeches that we can still listen to. And most importantly,
It lives on in the little choices that you and I make every single day. The choice to be kind, to stand up for a friend, and to treat every single person with respect.
And that is why we get that day off of school. It isn't just for sleeping in or playing video games. A lot of people call it a day on, not a day off. It's a day to remember the challenge Dr. King gave all of us, the challenge to build a world that's more fair, more peaceful, and more just. That job? It's been passed on to us now.
So the real question, the one that Dr. King's entire life asks of us, is this. How will you help keep the dream alive? What's one choice you can make today to make the world just a little bit better? That's something to think about, not just on the holiday, but every single day.